What's going on, guys? Half Click up here. Welcome back to my R1 mods and maintenance playlist. In today's video, we're going to be performing a coolant flush and swap on our 2010 Yamaha R1. Let's go. Right, so of course the first step is to get the motorcycle naked, but to say that is kind of oversimplifying the situation because this entire ductwork section needs to come off the bike. It's quite a lot of stuff, to be honest with you, with the objective being to get to the radiator cap, right? So all of this is done with a 4mm hex head, just like the body work. So there's that. There's also a push pin up underneath to take the ductwork apart. I did all of that off camera because it's pretty straightforward, right? This is more about the coolant swap process. But you know, all of this stuff, this upper panel comes off first, and then you just pull the squishy intake off, and then you got to work at this guy to get it off. Underneath there, see that big hole? That is where the push pin goes. So that's got to come out in order for you to pull it off. And this little box, well, I'll just show you. This little box rides over here, like so. That needs to come off. And this little panel was associated with it as well. On the left side of the motorcycle, of course, there is our coolant reservoir, which we'll look at in just a second, but it has a cover. 5mm bolts come off of it. It just bolts right on there. Now, initial observations about this motorcycle. This is a 2010 model. I bought it with 10,000 miles on it. I've had it for a couple of months, and I assume it's never had the coolant changed, and this kind of confirms my suspicions because if you look here, that little dark spot is the level in the overflow reservoir, and it's also dark blue, kind of greenish tint, indicating that is some factory Yamaha coolant. There's the fill line way up here. And so yeah, she is super low. So there's that. Now, things you're gonna need to complete this job. An appropriate catch basin for the old coolant. You're gonna need some new coolant. I have opted for the Pure Performance Racing coolant from Engine Ice because it's glycol free. I have a track day this coming Saturday on this bike, and since it's glycol free, it won't be slick, and if I go down and rupture my cooling system, it won't bring down everybody behind me along with me. So there's that. Not to mention, Engine Ice will lower your temperatures overall. I know that for a fact because I used it in my last motorcycle, and it lowers your operating temperature by several degrees. Not specified in the factory service manual is a flushing process. I'm going to do it though, because this is very old coolant in this motorcycle. And so distilled water will be used and poured into the radiator, and we're just going to let it run out the drain bolt into this basin, and it's just going to get all of that old stuff out of its passages. So it's nice and clean in there for the Engine Ice. By the way, it should go without saying that you want your bike on a level surface, so put it on a stand. And don't do this with the bike hot, right? Obviously the bike is cold. If you do this when the bike is hot, you're going to hurt yourself and have a bad time. Let's start by removing the radiator cap to provide some ventilation for when we just crack her open. That way, when we remove the drain bolt, it'll allow it to breathe and it'll come out faster. Here's your drain bolt right here, pointing straight down. It's a 10mm, as it should be. Now there's a copper washer here that's supposed to be replaced. I don't have one. See how fast it comes out when you vent it? But anyways, we're gonna have to reuse this copper washer. There's just no way around it. It is what it is. There, she's about done draining. We'll move on to the coolant reservoir removal. All right, the coolant reservoir has two 10mm bolts. You'll want an extension so you can reach the one that's on the right side here. It's in there kind of deep. There she is. So we pop her off, remove the rubber cap, and that is all we're dealing with, guys. You see that? Isn't that awful? So look. That's all that was in there. Isn't that crazy? So we are going to clean this out with some distilled water. So we'll just dump some in there, give her a shake to agitate it, dump it out. And at the end of this process, we're gonna fill this sucker back up to the full line. All right, we're gonna dump this entire jug through this cooling system. And you'll notice that there's still coolant. See the color? Being flushed out. So by the time this entire jug is poured, it should be clear water coming out. All that old stuff will be flushed. All right, there the entire gallon is empty, and it's now clear water. She is flushed. All right, replace our plug. Torque spec is 5.1 foot-pound. There she is. Now fill our reservoir with fresh engine ice all the way to the full mark. There. Now who knows how long it's been since she's seen that. Probably years. All right, reinsert the cap with stem. Maneuver her back in there. Send that one home. Kind of pull this drain line out of our way to send the second one home. Line her up. Don't cross thread it. Give her a tweak with the wrench. Nice and hand tight. Like so. Tuck your drain line back in there. Make sure that cap's on nice and snug. She is. Good to go. Go ahead and put our reservoir cover back on there now. 5mm bolts. Snug them up with a wrench. Nice and hand tight. All right, now let's put coolant in the machine. All right, so the capacity is 2.89 quarts, which is roughly 3/4 of a gallon. Engine ice comes in half-gallon containers. So we know we need all the rest of this one. All right, so the radiator has filled completely to the top, but we know that's not all it's gonna hold. So there's air in there. So we're gonna start the motorcycle, and the coolant level will suck down as it replaces air with coolant. There it goes. Now a trick is you can blip the throttle, which will force the coolant to circulate, and it'll suck it down more. Kill it. See, I don't know if you caught that on camera, but it immediately just sucked it down there. So it replaced a big air pocket with coolant. All right, so let's resume. Let her suck some more down. There he goes. All right, so with one full half gallon, including what's in the reservoir, she is right at the neck, a little over the neck of the radiator entrance there. And so I'm gonna let the bike cool down, see if the level drops any, come back in a little while. All right, so fast forward, I guess about 20 minutes later, looking down inside the radiator, I can see the coolant, but it's not near the top of the neck anymore like it was when we shut the bike off. So I'm going to go ahead, top it back up, give the hose a squeeze. And I believe that is about it. Just a smidge. All right, she's there. Go ahead and replace our cap. Call her done. And that's all there is to it, guys. Our bike is happier because she has coolant in the reservoir after who knows how many years. And of course, she's also gonna run a bit cooler thanks to engine ice. But if you have any questions, drop a comment down below. Actually, the harder part is gonna be replacing all these body panels back onto her and getting her all back buttoned up. But comment down below if you have any questions, and smash the like button, do the things you do, or don't. It's cool either way. But as always, this has been me, that's been you. It's Half Click Up. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Goodbye.